we are on our way to beating the former champions.
Oh, yes!
Hello and welcome back to another episode as part of the Pacific Pursuit, and welcome back to São Paulo, where in today's episode we have got two games coming up after yesterday's incredible episode where we went and won the Copa America. 3 games we had and we were absolutely perfect in all of them. If we're going to take a look, 6 out of 6 wins I should say. In total we scored 8, 11, 16, 17 goals across those 6 games and only conceded 2. It was a very, very good display. Only a 1-0 win in the final, but it doesn't really matter as long as we got the win in the end, really. And it was Di Carvalho who scored in this semi-final as well there, as you can see, who got the winner, which is always amazing. And now, as you can see there, 686 days until the World Cup starts. We can expect in around 716 days time that the Pacific Pursuit will end, which is a shame really, but it's been a very, very good journey. But we're nowhere near the end as of yet. We might be near the end of our time in São Paulo if we can get the job done in the Copa Libertadores. Here we've got 2 games coming up today against River Plate, who obviously beat us in that South America Recopa. If we go and take a look at the South American Recopa won by River Plate last year, I believe it was. If we go and turn the page there, as you can see, they beat us 7-4 on aggregate. A very good first game, but then the second leg at our stadium, the Nacional Stadium, the Gran Parque Central, we unfortunately lost out on. But you know, I think it was a very good performance at times, and I think we should have hopefully learned a lot from that to take into this game. It might be a different team, but still the same opposition. I'm looking forward to this game. The temporary setup is now done. The new setup is in. Let's get straight into it. The first game of the day of 2 against River Plate. So the team for this game against River Plate: Mateus in goal, Copa America winner, not the first one in this team. He is the first one, not the only one I should say. We've got Carioca, Murillo, Wallace and Sargent Tim at the back, Villejas, Gona, Fernando in the middle. We've got Rodrigo on the left. He's finally joined São Paulo, another one of the 3 or 4 winners. It's so Sargent Tim, Rodrigo, Mateus and Rodolfo, who doesn't make the team today. Rodrigo is there, Fernando, McCormick and De Silva up top. Kick-off here in this game. There's an early chance here for River Plate. We are playing the home leg here, so we really need to go to them, and already there's a bit of an early chance that opens up here. Luis Fernando is advancing. He might have the shot, and it's a save from the River Plate goalkeeper. In the end, I think it's going to be a bit of an interesting game. You know, I don't know what to expect really. We've had such a long time with Brazil. Obviously the uploads have gone down a little bit, and I'm looking to obviously get those back up, but now we've got this period that we can start to focus a little bit more on the São Paulo team. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. You know, I think River Plate, obviously, as I said, are a good opposition. Some of the other teams in this competition, it's obviously very Brazilian heavy at this point. The Brazilian teams absolutely dominate in these international tournaments. It felt like they did. I mean, they did, because when we went with Nacional, every single stage we played against a Brazilian team. All 4 stages, knockout stages, we managed to play against a Brazilian team, and we're not playing against one today, but I think we're playing probably against the best team outside of Brazil in River Plate. So it's definitely interesting. River Plate won this competition not last year but the year before, and the year before if I'm not mistaken, because I think they won 2 Recopas. So clearly a very, very good team who've been able to stop the Brazilian teams, but maybe last season not as good. Don't know what happened in their group phase really. We probably should have looked into it a bit more, but here we are. I think it'll be a tough game, but who knows, maybe if we can beat these then we go and win it. But it's been such a long time since we've kind of been with São Paulo. Who knows, we could just go and win it on the first season. Why not? Who's stopping us? Villejas into McCormick for 1-0 here. What a goal it is. 25 for the season. McCormick scores again, and we are on our way to beating the former champions, the former double champions in River Plate. Is 1-0 here. That trademark ball in behind, it's been a long time since we've seen that, and I've missed those balls being played in behind, and those finishes. You know, 19 games, 14 goals for Stephen McCormick. How is he not got. I mean, the fact his first name is McCormick is interesting in itself, but Stephen McCormick, how is that guy only Colombian? It's very, very interesting. 1-0 up here though in this game. We're obviously going to have to be a little bit cautious of what River Plate can do. They're looking to come on the attack now. They're advancing to the edge of the area, and now he's in behind and it's wide in the end. Mateus obviously got some minutes in that Copa America campaign. So did everyone really, but I guess Mateus only got half, I believe. I think we subbed him on around half time, maybe a little bit after, and that is a red card, and that is Sergeant Tim, I assume it is. McCormick. It's McCormick, of all people, the goal scorer, has got himself sent off here. Really, really poor in the end, if I'm honest. We'll have to go and move Luis Fernando over. It's not the worst position to be in, but how is he getting red cards in a position like that? It's got to be better. 35 minutes gone here in this game. We'll go and offer up our words of praise, because we have been good apart from that red card there. Sergeant Tim into Wallace. We won't be having those balls in mind anymore, but it's Fernando who could potentially get there. The midfield is still somewhat present, even if we don't have that extra number 10, but I guess it's a position we can kind of afford to lose here. Rodrigo on the ball. He's going to look to try and advance it down this left side, but he loses out in the end. Maybe he doesn't have it as much as he used to. To be fair, he's only played one game, and I think he is still a really good player. Rodolfo probably does get back into that team when he comes back, but you got to think of it as well as, Rodolfo didn't get as many minutes as Rodrigo. Neither of them got loads of minutes, but I think Rodrigo definitely had a few sub appearances. He had the start as well in that game against El Salvador, where we rotated the whole team. That smacks the crossbar there, as you can see. So I think Rodrigo had a few more minutes, but maybe Rodolfo's a bit more suited in this position. Who knows? It's been a very, very long game up to the point we're having it just feels like the games are really long recently. Really entertaining brand of football we've been creating with Sao Paulo, which I guess is always a good thing. Murillo on the ball. Where can he go? He goes out to Carioca on this left side into Villejas over the top, finds Rodrigo in behind him. Rodrigo, he's seen this position before. He looks to square it, and De Silva hits the inside of the post and he doesn't score. How unlucky is that? Villejas, where can he go? He might go out to this left side. He goes to Wallace instead. Rodrigo with a ball like that in behind, and you can tell that De Silva's in behind here. It will fall to Rodrigo. He is on a yellow card. We have to be a bit careful of that. Rodrigo wearing the number 13 here for Sao Paulo in this blue kit that we play in. He tries to get the return ball. It goes straight through him, but Carioca is really good play actually from Rodrigo, and Carioca squares it. Rodrigo with the goal, and he scores. Can you believe it? Rodrigo has scored. He's come to Sao Paulo. It's 1-2-0 here in this game, and that's incredible. 2-0 against this River Plate team, and it's to the second half really. I guess we'll have to see what we can go and do there. The final few moments of this first half, a very, very good performance, and we'll have to go and see if it'll continue in that second half. As we get underway here in this second half, obviously a very good first half performance. We can look to make some early changes. We have got a few players who are quite tired. I think there has been a lot of games that we've had to kind of play. We've obviously had games whilst the Copa America has been going on, but we haven't really shown them. But luckily, that it does make sense why the Copa Libertadores now has that big break. I guess it's because of the international tournaments that will be coming up every 2 years, and they want to have kind of the best players in Brazil. A lot of them did come from the domestic teams, but to be fair, I think the team who had the most were Sao Paulo. And it makes sense because we won the league last year. We are the best team in Brazil, and it makes sense that we've managed to bring 4 players in the end. And there was no bias. Rodrigo, I guess, couldn't count at that point. Mateus, the third goalkeeper. Sergeant Tim was a very consistent player, and he made the team before that. And Rodolfo, I did recall him. He wasn't in there before, but there was quite a lot of shout about how he didn't make the team last time. He was a very quality player, and they were recommending me to bring him back. And I was like, I know that he's a very good player. It makes sense to bring him back, and that's why I went and did it. There was not much bias in that. I don't know. I actually can't remember if any players were from any of the other teams in Brazil, as River Plate do get themselves a goal here. We just switched off at the start of this first half. I feel like or second half, I should say. It feels like something that we do constantly tend to do, and it's the same there. It's hit the crossbar. We've got to be so much better. We cannot be letting moments like that happen, where that goes. Just the little headers. We can't be letting our Mango, for example, there. It's really got to be a little bit better than that. But it was 65 minutes in here, approaching 70. We're going to look to make a few changes, but definitely not in the worst position at all. Castaneda off on the right winger, Tony. Pretty obvious change we can make there. Sergeant Tim off. I'm going to bring on Moreira on that side. Murillo off. I'm going to bring on Hadzik. And then, is that all 5? That is 4 changes. I want to bring Castaneda. Can we swap these 2 round? Yeah, that's a bit more ideal for Hassan. A bit of a deeper role, but it's just to see out the rest of this game. If we can get one more goal, it would be ideal, but it looks like River Plate are on the attack. They will give us a tough game away from home, so that's why we need to get this win. And that first half has shown how good we are, so if we were to lose it here, it would be quite frustrating. The ball in behind, and there's not even a flag up on the far side. I feel like it is offside. The play did look well offside originally, but I don't know. We'll have to see. The decision is going to be goal disallowed, which is good for us. At least we maintain this 2-1 lead. I think we might have to go a little bit more attacking. Maybe go and get a third goal in this game. It would make sense. We do have a game in the gap coming up. What a game it's been there, by the way, by Independiente Santa Fe and Flamengo. 4-4 draw played out there. Rodrigo into Hadzik. He can't get there, and now it's cleared, and all of a sudden there's a ball in behind, but it looks like we should get there quite comfortably. Carioca can look to go back to Mateus. That is a very good game. Any of the other ones, Fluminense winning, Botafogo drawing, Colo-Colo are beating another Brazilian team there, Lanús, Corinthians, Palmeiras all winning quite comfortably by the looks of it. But we are not winning quite comfortably, and if we can go and get another goal, maybe you'd start to argue that we are. Here's Hadzik into Castaneda. Castaneda, where can he go? In behind potentially. He goes over to Moreira on this right side now. Tony, you want to give the ball to really to see if he can make a run. He does make the run, and Tony's in behind here, and can he look to square? He does. The Silva for 3-1. Simple as that. Absolutely clinical, and we have beaten this River Plate team fair and square. A 3-1 win. De Silva with his goal in this game. He finally gets it. I think was he disallowed one, or he was definitely involved in one of the goals. I feel like we've seen it. He hit the inside of the post, didn't he, and was unlucky to not score. He finally gets his goal. The full-time whistle is going to go. There might even be one more chance. Here's Tony, edge of the area, Castaneda. Can he look to have the shot? He loses out in the end, and if we concede it would be very frustrating. It's the end of the game. Players start to switch off because it is the end, but this can have a whole massive effect on the second leg, and people might even recognise that, how big of an effect it can have. Just conceding this goal and closing that gap from 2-1, it makes it a whole lot tougher. 2 is comfortable, 1 is a very good, not a good position to be in, but we will remain 2 goals ahead, and it's to the second leg to see if we will make a Copa Libertadores quarter-final. And the team for this second leg, just the one change. We've got Mateus in goal, backline of Carioca, Murillo, Wallace and Sergeant Tim, Villegas, Golner, Fernando in the middle, Rodrigo on the left, Tony on the right, and De Silva up top. Kick-off here in this game against River Plate. 3-1 up. This game is in our corner, we really need to go and get the result. We've got 11 men on the pitch now, what we didn't have for most of that game. Last time out, we may not have the freshest team, but we're ready to go with 3-1 up, and De Silva is in behind for 4-1 here, Luis Fernando, and that is unfortunate that we're not able to convert in the end there, really, but it's a good early chance for us. River Plate find themselves on the ball now, and that will be the end of that early chance. I mean, if we can beat this River Plate team, who knows how far we can go. I didn't feel like, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, because I've got a real big thing of, you're never out until you're out, but I think I've said it already with this São Paulo team. I'm starting to come to accept it, that maybe you can't always win it straight away. Now, I think I say that because of what I've seen with other clubs. We never ever win it straight away, but who knows, maybe the first time I say that is going to happen. I feel like there is a bit of I think I want to go on that process. That's the thing. I want to build this team, we learn from our mistakes. It creates that emotion, that attachment, and then when it comes to actually winning the competition, it makes it feel all that much better. So maybe that's why we that's the mentality. Maybe it's something to still work on, but we've worked on different parts of the mentality, and that's why we've improved time and time again. The ball finds itself in the possession of River Plate, and Sergeant Tim might have just made that foul there. I don't know if it was Sergeant Tim or it might have been Wallace, I think it was. who made that tackle there. We'll have to have a look, and if it is a penalty for River Plate, then it does look like they will come within 1 goal of us in this tie. The penalty is given. It was I don't know who caused the foul. I don't know if it was Sergeant Tim. I don't think it would have been, because I think he would have been off by now. Potentially an early change we have to make there. The penalty for River Plate. Can Mateus make himself a hero? He's not able to. And for those travelling fans in that far corner, as you can see there, though I'm sure they'll be, on the edge of their seats a little bit more now, a bit nervous because of what's going on. We are still 3-2 up, and I don't think we're playing too bad really. They've had a bit of a spell of possession, but if we can gas them out a little bit and get this out of them now, then maybe we can go and win it in the second half. We'll have to see. It's to the edge of the area now where River Plate will attack, and that is a shot from range, and it is nowhere near going in the end. 30 minutes gone. I think we should see it out to half time, definitely. I think we do have a few tight legs. We played in the gap against, who was it now? It was, if we go and take a look, it was Corinthians. I thought it was Corinthians. A 1-1 draw there. Bit frustrating really that we didn't get the win, but it's whatever. We do definitely need to make some changes though. I don't want to make changes. I'm never really for making changes. Try and see out the game. Get fresh legs on just for the sake of seeing out the game, into the midfield, just securing it up a little bit. I'd only really bring players off if they are really tired, and I'd bring them off at a time which feels suitable. We don't really want to bring them off at 45 minutes into the game when they've still got a bit more time in them, and have players come on who've started on the bench for a reason, because there's players who are being picked ahead of them, and we don't want to bring them on for 45 minutes just because we want to see out this game. We might as well have started them at that point. Carioca finds himself on the ball. Fernando Carioca, can he look to go and play this ball in? We're knocking it around. We lose out on possession here, but we've got quite a few man forward. If we can really keep on them, we could create something. We do, and now Sergeant Tim does well to get past one of them there. Can he go down the line? Where will he go? He goes back to Wallace now into the midfield, potentially may switch that ball. It's Victor Gallner, Tony, Luis Fernando. Can he play it back to Tony? He's not able to in the end, and now River Plate coming on the attack. It's into the midfield. They're going to look to continue to try and progress it. 52 minutes gone here in this game. It should be a pretty easy dispossess. I don't know why we've not been able to, and the chance here, and it's cleared. Carioca, who can get there? It's headed. Someone's gone up for it. It's still going around. This is really poor defending. We have to be getting this gone much quicker and we do. In the end, it's Tony who is on that ball there, and that will be the end of that. But River Plate have been all over us, I think, is the statement to make, just as we were in the first leg, you'd argue. I think now is an appropriate time to look to go and make those changes. Wallace off, Hadzik on. I want to bring Villejas off, Castaneda on into the midfield, Fernando, Rodolfo, Rodrigo into the middle. Rodolfo returns today from his injury, and I think for 25 minutes, on the pitch, getting a bit of sharpness in him. Obviously played a little bit in that Copa America campaign and then got injured in that game. We subbed him on, and then we subbed him on in the game where we wanted to bring him on for an injured player, if I'm not mistaken, and then we subbed him off again, which was really frustrating. But we are still 3-2 up here against this River Plate team. Tony into Rodolfo in behind. Can he score? Rodolfo, I think he might have been offside in the end, but he wasn't. He literally wasn't offside. I think it was a very tight angle. He might have taken a bit of a heavy touch in the end. These changes look like they are working out quite favourable for us, but River Plate are coming on the attack here. That header is out, and it's a handball. It's a handball, and Hadzik might have just given it away. How is this a handball? I mean, it might not be. The decision is going to be, they're having a look, and the decision will be penalty given, and it's going to be 2 penalties that might just deny us a place in this next round. I don't know if it's away goals. Do we have away goals? We don't have an away goal. River Plate do have an away goal, and that is a goal. And if we get knocked out here, I'll be, I don't know what to think. I won't know what to think really. 2 penalties. We've conceded so poor. We've conceded goals in that way. We're going off for up. Some words of encouragement. We just have to get through now, the final few moments. Is it going to be a full-time whistle? It's straight to penalties. It's straight to penalties where we will go to decide who goes through. Now, luckily, we do have some very good takers on the pitch, particularly in Rodrigo. Gabriel da Silva still on. Gallner, Sergeant Tim, the captain, will take one. Tony's there. I think Rodolfo has to take one, really. by the looks of it. I mean, he doesn't have. I think Sergeant Timmy might have to take over because he's got better stats and everything. But I guess it's because he's the captain. I want to put Sergeant Tim on 6 because it could go to 6 penalties. We'll go with that. We will relax, pick the spot, and it's as simple as that. We'll go and speed it up a little bit. I think we go behind the camera as behind goal for the penalties. De Silva with their penalty, and what a penalty is that. They'll be a little bit faster because we want to try and progress it. We do get the first penalty, and the team who takes first usually does win. River Plate with the first penalty, and Mateus makes the save. The Copa America winning goalkeeper. And it might just be the story of the penalties here. We've conceded 2 to lose this, well, not lose this game, but lose that lead that we had. 2 penalties in River Plate Stadium. They've not been able to score a goal from open play, and now we just might win it on penalties. The next penalty hits the crossbar and goes in by the looks of it. We still remain 2-1 up, and Rodrigo with the penalty. Will he be able to convert? Rodrigo steps up with his penalty into that bottom right corner. No mistake from him there. He did miss a penalty in the World Cup quarter-final, if you do remember, but no mistake there. He's dropping Bond hair and he scores. River Plate do get another one though, 3-2, and it's going to be Rodolfo, who we have swapped in, and hopefully it won't come back to bite us. Rodolfo with his penalty, and it's in to that bottom left corner, and we are 1 penalty away. A miss for River Plate means they go out. A penalty scored for us mean we go through. Mateus can make himself a hero here. 2 penalties we've conceded, and it might just be penalties that sees us through to the next round of the Copa Libertadores. The penalty into the bottom right corner. It's going to be Tony who steps up. He's coming to this team today off the back of that suspension for McCormick. It's going to be a long walk to make it up here, but if we get through, it will be an absolutely incredible result. I feel like we deserve it. I really do. The penalty. Tony, he's put it wide. He's put it well wide. It's still not over, because if River Plate do miss, then we do go through. And if River Plate miss, it'd be incredible. They'd miss 2 penalties in the penalty shootout to make up for the 2 penalties that were interesting decisions. The penalty for River Plate, where will it go? Can Mateus make himself a hero? He does! And we do it in the penalty shootout. We lost the lead on penalties, but we have done it against River Plate in their own stadium. We have done it. Absolutely incredible result. 4.25 XG, a lot of that from penalties, but they could not get through an open play, and it's poetic justice. We have beaten River Plate very well deservedly on penalties. So once again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Take a look at that, by the way. De Silva and McCormick both on 25 goals, 16 assists for Rodolfo, top of the league. And next time out, it's against Fluminense for a place in the Copa Libertadores semi-final. I'll see you then. Thank you, bye.